So so I was kind of all prepared to talk about that today, and then Big Brother tonight, and all of that. But so we'll try and do a bit of both this morning.
As we said before, people are waking up all the way through the show, and they will have just heard the news. So we apologise in advance if it sounds like we're repeating ourselves, but we need to, convey what's happened.
Here's what I want to do. We'll do the news with Dominic and sport with Carrie, and then we'll play another Michael Jackson song out the news at 7:30. We played You Are Not Alone at 7 o'clock, which was quite sad. I think we'll play an upbeat song, just kind of in contrast to the slow one that we played. So that's what we're going to do. There'll be somebody who will switch on after the news and go, God, I can't believe you're playing that. It's a bit upbeat, isn't it? But, look, Michael Jackson's died. So celebrate his songs. He's made some of the best pop records of all time.
Influenced almost everybody.
And some of the slow ones were dreary. See, me and Alan could argue literally for the whole show about good and bad Michael Jackson songs. But, there are so many great songs. So I think we should play a good one out of the news at 7:30, like an upbeat one.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to be keeping their favourite choices to the golden hour at 9:30.
That's it. I've already bagged my one.
Me too. I've bagged mine.
Well, let's see. Maybe me and Al will choose it to play out the news. All right, so we'll do that. We'll play Franz Ferdinand, we'll do news and sport, and then we'll play a good up Michael Jackson song to celebrate him. 7:27. By the way, the streaming is still going. You can watch us live on the web this morning as well. See our kind of not so happy faces today.
Kiss me.
Tracy in Sandhurst has texted in saying, I'm going to see the Killers today at the Hard Rock. Really looking forward to it for such a long time, yet given what's happened, it feels a little bit weird, kind of looking forward to going to see a gig. You're doing a good job, by the way. Well, thanks very much. But, Tina, kind of life goes on, do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
Everybody, I would imagine, though, music-wise, will be having their own tributes, whether it's the Killers or certainly the Glastonbury lineup and stuff over the weekend.
Don't think for one second that there is not a pile of bands now who are performing at Glastonbury going, can we do a Michael Jackson song? Can we do something acoustic? They'll be sitting there working it out as we speak.
I think everyone will want to do something.
Which just proves how many people he's kind of inspired, doesn't it, really? I'd love to know what the mood's going to be like in Glastonbury. That'll be weird.
I got a text from someone really late last night saying, is it true? Because obviously it spreads through Glastonbury, but everybody thinks it's just a bad rumour. So there'll be people waking up in Glastonbury who aren't 100% sure today because they've heard stuff last night. But and if you were at Glastonbury, you wouldn't think it was real unless you saw it on the telly or you properly heard it on the news.
Yeah.
Also, as well, you watch the chart go Michael Jackson crazy because everyone will start legally buying and downloading songs. The irony is now he's going to sell hundreds and thousands of copies of albums and singles, and and there would have been a lot of money there that would have bailed him out of financial trouble.
So there could feasibly be an entire top 10 of Michael Jackson songs, couldn't there?
Because if everyone goes and buys their favourite Michael Jackson songs, there's a chance that even this Sunday, half the top 10 could be Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
the official top 10.
Easily.
We've chosen a song, we've chosen an upbeat, brilliant Michael Jackson pop record to play after the news to celebrate Michael Jackson's musical life.
The Chris Moyles Show on BBC Radio 1.
Thanks Paul. I wanted to do the news jingle there, that's great.
He's just telling us where we are.
I know, he just wanted to get on the app, so... Sad news, but a great record to play next.
Digital.
FM.
Online.
This is BBC Radio 1.
It's 7:32.
7:37 now.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you. So the sad news that Michael Jackson died last night. Michael Jackson passed away aged 50 years old. So let's celebrate his musical life by playing one of the best songs.
The Chris Moyles Show.
One of the upbeat songs, one of the greatest songs from Michael Jackson.
International Radio 1.
That's LaRue. Bulletproof. It's 7:46. Strange day today because of the sad news about Michael Jackson, who died last night. Dominic will have the news again at 8 o'clock this morning. But just to kind of, as I said just before, the world carries on. Life carries on. That's what happens. And just to put, if you're kind of a little bit twisted like I am, just to put a bit of a twisted smile on the face of people who may be wrapped up in bed still, maybe having a nice warm mug of tea in the kitchen, and a little sandwich, bacon sandwich, something. You may or may not be pleased to hear. For me personally, I am a bit twisted. It does put a smile on my face. The news said it's absolutely hammering it down with rain at Glastonbury.
The Chris Moyles Show.
So they're all getting wet.
International Radio 1.
It is terrible.
But
the
that's-
weather, there's thunder and thunderstorms through the night. It is chucking it down in Glastonbury this morning. Chucking it down.
But is that not what Glastonbury is all about?
yeah, but
In a way, because I know everyone, people like Rachel say, oh, I'm so excited because I think it's going to be sunny this year and whatnot. But to be honest with you, if there isn't whole fields full of mud and people rolling around, it's not quite the same thing, is it?
No.
I mean, it's not, granted, it's not my idea of fun, spending a weekend in the mud.
that's why we're not there.
That's why we're not there, amongst other reasons.
Jo Whiley is there, and at 10 o'clock this morning, she'll be doing her show live from Glastonbury. She's got all these challenges that the DJs are going to set her. We haven't chosen our challenge yet, but
Tell you what, the challenge might be similar to it was 3 or 4 years ago. We were just
Yeah.
trying to stay on air for more than 20 minutes, because if it is as wet as it was then, she's going to have problems.
yeah, looks like we're going to be hanging around a little bit to
Think
make sure
so.
our line's all right. Hey, look, who's just come in to see us. It's our good
Morning.
friend Trevor Nelson from One
Morning.
Extra. Trevor
Oh wow! I get a hand
Trevor
clap.
Nelson. Of course you get a clap.
Can't
It's a
believe
sad
that.
day, but you still get,
It's a strange day, isn't it?
very strange.
Did you? I just got in. So did you? What time did you hear?
Last night,
You get a phone call.
I got a text from a friend of mine, and I put the news on, and at that point, there were all loads of conflicting reports about whether or not he died, or he was in a coma, or he'd been rushed to hospital, and all sad. You'd have been tucked up in bed last night by 9
I was
o'clock.
exactly the same as you, mate. No, it wasn't 9 o'clock, but I was the same. And
8
I got
o'clock?
a call. It was 11.
All right. Wow, that's late
Yeah.
for you, Trevor.
Yeah.
It's past my bedtime.
I know. But I was shocked, mate. I actually I rudely hung up on my friend when he told me, because I was like, this is like Princess Diana all over again, just staring at the news, wondering what was going on.
Do you know what? There is. It's weird you make that reference. I spoke to Andy Peters, who was out in LA yesterday. He was literally on his way to the airport, and he said that somebody on the radio referred to Michael Jackson as the Princess Diana of pop, and he thought it was a bit extreme, and then thought, well, in the same way that Diana was kind of loved fanatically by a lot of people, so was Michael, and in a weird way, I kind of I hate to say it, but it is an analogy that
But
you
also
can't
it's-
ignore.
It's the shocking way it's come out. It's the shocking way it's just
Yeah.
ended, you know.
Well,
But
we thought he was going to be performing in a couple of weeks. This is the shock. This is why I think people are more shocked. And I think if anyone's old enough to remember Elvis passing, this is the nearest in a lifetime to what happened with Elvis, because most people are born listening to this show weren't around when Elvis died.
You're damn right. Granddad.
Well,
I
there
don't
you go.
remember.
I'm not saying I'm
Who's Elvis?
Yeah, who is he?
But drawing the comparisons between Princess Diana and Michael Jackson, you never gauge the enormity of their popularity until they pass away, do you? You know, I mean, you know that they're huge names in whatever field it is, but it's only when they pass away and you think, oh my God, the world has just, sort of stopped in a way.
Well, I just think people are going to think about him for the positive things now. That's immediately what happened. You watched it and you're like, oh my God, shock. And everything that's come out negative about him kind of goes away for a minute. And you start thinking about them. Like, I'm off to Ibiza tonight. And I guarantee we're just going to be playing Michael Jackson all night in our room, and why not?
As we will at Glastonbury and Ibiza, everywhere,
everywhere.
music based.
Every club should be playing to Michael Jackson. Now, some people may be listening going, I wasn't the biggest Michael Jackson fan.
No.
But you must have danced to one of his records. You must have sung one of his records.
Absolutely.
Whether you like rock, pop or soul.
But even if you didn't like him, you can't deny he was arguably one of the most famous people on planet Earth.
Well, I grew up, Chris, not being funny, with a poster of Michael Jackson and his brothers on my wall for 5 years. The first album I ever got was Michael Jackson's Greatest Hits from my uncle. I played it every day for like 3-4 years. This guy was never 12. He was like 20 from day one. He was like, I listen to this guy singing I'll Be There. And it's like, Mariah's the only one who tackled that years later. The guy did it when he was like 12, 13. He was a genius. He was a genius, no question.